What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Richard Prophet, aka the Bronx Broker. And today we got a topic that I'm really excited to talk to you about. It's a real important topic, and I want you to listen up. If you are listening to this video, if you are within the sound of my voice, and you don't get rich in the next 10 years, it's your own fault. You don't have anybody to blame but yourself. If you don't get rich in the next 10 years, this climate is so ripe for entrepreneurialism. This climate is so ripe for anybody to take any kind of shot. And you can just launch. I mean, real estate in the Bronx is crazy. Is really taking off. I think Miami is next. I think Miami is really about to launch. I mean, if you just look at what's happened with Wynwood, Wynwood a year and a half ago was the hood. Now Wynwood is becoming like a big fancy area. Miami is really ready to launch. I think they're really gearing up for the next bull run. The Bronx is, in the middle of the bull run. I mean, I bought a house a couple years ago. What I paid, $350,000. I just got an offer for it for $750,000. I mean, this is the best time. The 80s, people were getting rich. 2000s, people were getting rich. Then you say, 2008 hit, the recession, whatever. But what you don't understand is more people got rich during the recession than before it, right? Now, it's happening again. It's happening in the Bronx, and Miami is going to be next. So if you can't, I was talking with a guy I know a couple days ago. He was telling me, I can't wait till the supervisor test comes out on my job because, I want to take the supervisor test. I want to become a supervisor. But this is the same guy that's always telling me, I don't have any money. I'm living check to check. I'm always broke, and when I open up my business, when I open up my restaurant, I mean, you're not serious. You're not serious. You're just talking. If you were serious, then now's the time to do it. In the next 10 years, I don't care if you don't have any money right now. In the next 10 years, if you're in the Bronx, anywhere you are in New York, in the next 10 years, you're gonna go. Any kind of business, New York and Miami, in the next 10 years, I mean, even if you're not in New York, I mean, people, in a couple months ago, people on the internet, I mean, whether you're in real estate, whether you're selling t-shirts, whether you're, you got a little online store, I mean, in November, you got these people getting rich off of cryptocurrencies. Some people say maybe that ship has sailed already, but in November, you got something like Bitcoin that was $1,000. In December, it went up to $19,000. Imagine you would have had $20,000 in that. You see what I'm saying? 2018, by 2028, there's going to be more millionaires created in that small space, to me, than probably in the last 50 years. I mean, there's so much going on. Real estate is taking off. I mean, if you have your money in the bank, that's stupid. The bank is taking your money, putting it on their balance sheet to get more money to lend out to people taking shots, to people moving off their own energy, to people taking risks. I mean, take your money, put it on your balance sheet, buy a piece of property, speculate on something, get involved in a deal. You don't know what to do, that's okay. It's not for everybody. Lend your money out. There's people out there doing deals, looking for capital. They'll give you 10%, 12%. You'll be on title. You'll be first place. You can't lose, you go in 50%, 50%, if you foreclose, you keep the property. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You can lend money out. You can be involved in deals, but you say, okay, Prophet, but I want to get involved, but I don't have no money. Look, find a deal. Find a deal. Bring your deal, to somebody that's out there in the game, then, if it makes sense, why not? I'll give you 25% equity on a deal. If you bring the deal to me, you find it's good, it makes sense, let's do it, 33%, me and another guy and you, why not? Give you 33%, why not? Because this is found money to me. I mean, don't let that you don't have any money be an excuse. Don't let that you don't know the game be an excuse. Don't let that you don't know anybody be an excuse. I mean, in the next 10 years, you can change your life. You understand? You can change your life. You can change the course of your life, and it's only going to take 10 years. Never before. Well, you know what? Let me not say that. Post 2008, it's happening again. This is happening again, but it's happening in all different spaces. You got real estate, you got finance. Look at the stock market, how it's been running. You even got cryptocurrency. You got all types of stuff that, maybe you don't understand. Well, learn it. Get to understand it. You want to take some supervisor's test on your job. So that means you're going to, be a supervisor and you're still crying, that you can't afford anything and you're living in check to check. I mean, what kind of sense is that, And then 20 years from now, 10 years from now, you're going to be, your kids are going to be like, hey, dad, hey, mom, all these people were saying that, they got rich, 10 years ago, people, all this wealth was created. You were around. What were you doing? What are you going to say? I was sitting around playing it safe. And, when I retire, when you retire, what you going to do? What? You're going to look for a little second job just to make ends meet? That makes no sense. You got 10 years. 10 years from right now. I don't care what your position is. I don't care what your knowledge level is. I don't care what space you want to get into. In the next 10 years, you can get rich. I'll drink to that, little Johnny. In my Johnny cup. I don't know if you can see that. Trust me when I tell you, you got 10 years to get rich. In the next 10 years, anybody and everybody will get rich. Don't miss the boat, my friend. You don't know where to start. That's okay. Call me up, or subscribe to this channel. Follow this channel. We're going to talk about it here. What I'm going to start doing, I might start bringing people on the channel that, I have personally mentored and, or guys that, are just out there doing their thing and they have created, a substantial income in the last year, in the last 2 years, maybe been able to quit their job. But in the next 10 years, I'm telling you, the Bronx is in the middle of a bull run. Miami is gearing up for the next bull run. There's a lot of opportunities out there on the internet. There's opportunities everywhere you go. I went down to the boat show in the Jacob Javits Center. Was it last week? Oh, let me just say the boat show was fantastic. It was awesome. But I went down to the boat show, and they got these big, beautiful boats, right? And they got these bells, like in front of these big boats. They have these bells, and they ring the bell, bring, bring, bring. When you're walking in, you're like, what's that noise? Why are they ringing that bell? And what they do is, whenever somebody purchases a boat there or puts a substantial deposit down on a boat, they'll ring the bell. That means somebody bought a boat. And I'm telling you, no lie, while I was there, they must have rang that bell. I was there probably about 3 hours. They must have rang that bell about 6 times. So 6 times, so that means 2 times an hour, someone bought a boat that is anywhere from, because right now, if you know about boats, if you're in that space, right now there's only 2 spaces for boats. There's the $300,000 to $400,000 space, and then there's the $1 million space. That's it. You know, Bayliner stopped making their 33 footer. You know, they only make a small boat now. So right now it's only the $300,000 to $400,000 space to the $1 million plus space. That's it. Well, 900,000 and up space. You know, that's it. Those are the boats right now. So, but they rang that bell while I was there 6 times. So that means 2 times an hour somebody spent either 400,000 up to, you know, $1 million. And I mean, people are making money right now. 2018 is well, really 2017. So actually, in the next 10 years, starting in 2017, you got to make yourself, you got to create yourself into become a multimillionaire. I mean, you know, people, you know, now a guy making $1 million a year is not uncommon anymore. You know, you go anywhere, you sit down in any cigar shop, really, and, you know, anybody sitting next to you is making $400,000 or $500,000 a year. That's, you know, that's the reality of it. You know, you're making $150,000 a year in New York. You're living in New York. You know, you're struggling. You're making $200,000 a year. You're struggling in New York right now. Anybody you sit next to anywhere you go is making at least $400,000 a year, $500,000 a year. You know, you in real estate, you do a couple deals, you know, a year, 3 deals a year, you're making $1 million. So what I'm telling you is, okay, you're not there now, but you have 10 years to get there. You know, subscribe to this channel, watch my videos, leave a comment below, give me some questions. I mean, ask me a question and I'll tell you, I'll lead you the right way, and, you know, we'll get going. If you have an idea, if you have a deal, shoot me a deal. You know, okay, you don't have any money, but you shoot me a deal and it makes sense, you know, I'll bring you in. Or maybe not me, anybody else, you know. Sit down, you know, they'll put you equity partner on the deal. If the idea is yours, why not? The next 10 years, all you got to do is find the space you want to get into it, learn it, and obsess over it. Obsess over it. If you want to become about real estate, become about real estate. Be known as a real estate man. You want to get into making t-shirts, selling t-shirts on the internet, know t-shirts. You know your product. Know if it's cotton or spandex. Know, you know, what size somebody is by looking at it. Know what's the hot, you know, terms right now where you can put on the front of the t-shirt. You can put on the back of the t-shirt, you know. Know how to get your PayPal links and get it going. Find the space you want to be in. Learn that space and obsess about it. And, you know, you got 10 years to take off. And one thing I really want to say is have a word, you know. I can't emphasize this enough. Have a word. If you give your word to somebody, you know, I don't care if you have paperwork on it or not. If you give your word to somebody, keep it. Mean it. You know, create the buzz around you like, oh, you know, Prophet told me he was going to do this. So yeah, I'm going to hang my hat on that because I know he's going to do this, period. You know, I mean, I've been in deals where you know, no paperwork involved, but I told people, look, this is what your end is going to be. And even if my end is smaller, you know, even if I lost money, I would give the money because I gave my word that I was going to give them the money. But the upside of that is the next time I pick up the phone and say, hey, you know, I got it. Hey, Prophet, it's no problem. Come get the check, you know, and that's what it is. I'm Richard Prophet, a.k.a. the Bronx Broker, a.k.a. Mr. Nice Watch. I hope this video finds you well. I hope you understand what I'm telling you now. And, you know, 2018, make 2018 your year. Make 2018 to 2028 your decade. And, you know, maybe me and you can thumb through one of these. and pick out your next little puppy, or maybe something nice for the missus. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Richard Prophet. This is the Prophet Realty Group channel, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and tell a friend.
Nice watch. Nice watch. No one Mr. Nice Guy. Hello, Mr. Nice Watch.